Hello, welcome to Summit 1 Unit 10, your free time web class. Let's start. Today we are going to work about the order of the modifiers. Here we go. Okay, we often use more than one adjective before the noun. For example, I like big black dogs. She was wearing a beautiful long red dress. As far as we can see, here using one and two adjectives before the noun. In the next example, she was wearing a beautiful, this is one, two, long, red, three adjectives before the noun. We have to remember that all of the time it is going to be adjective and at the end, a noun. But what is the correct order for two or more adjectives? Well, first of all, the general order is, okay, let's go to the next. Okay, here we are. The order of the modifiers. First of all, we are going to use a determiner that can be to, a number, a, an article, your, it can be a possessive adjective, some, a quantifier, or this. It could also be a pronoun. Next, we are going to have the adjectives. First of all, we are going to use the opinion adjectives. The opinion adjectives are some adjectives that can be different depending on the person who is talking. For example, something that for me is ugly, for you can be fabulous. Here we have ugly, fabulous, lovely. Later on, we have other kind of adjectives. For example, well-known or cheap. They talk about condition. Next one, we have the size, shape, age, or color. For example, black, it is color. Small, it is size. 18th century, it talks about age. New, it also talks about age. Pink and green, color. Big, size. Black and white, color. Next one, we are going to use the origin adjectives. For example, Chinese, French, Thai, or Spanish. Next one, the material. Okay, the material, for example, silk, leather, plastic. Next one is the purpose. For example, guard, coffee, sports, reading, rain. And finally, the head noun. For example, dogs, artist, table, car, dress, boots, dog, coat. Now, let's see the examples. First one, two ugly black guard dogs. Next, a well-known Chinese artist. Next, a small French coffee table, or an 18th century French coffee table, or a small 18th century French coffee table. Next one, your fabulous new sports car. Next, a lovely pink and green tie silk dress. Some Spanish leather riding boots. A big black and white dog. This cheap plastic raincoat. As far as we can see, sometimes we are going to use opinion adjectives, sometimes it is not necessary. So we are not going to use all of the categories of the adjectives all of the time. They are used for giving further information, for being more specific about something. For example, when we are going to sell something, we have to be very specific. Okay, now look at the chart showing the order of modifiers before a noun. First of all, the determiners. As far as we could see, here we have articles, for example, a, an, or the. We have pronouns like this, possessive adjectives like my, or the possessive s. Here we have Judith. Later on, we have the numbers. They can be ordinal or cardinals, for example, first or 1,000. Later on, the quantifiers. So we can use one, a few, some, or many. Then we are going to use the adjectives in the following order. First of all, opinion or quality. For example, beautiful or dear. Later on, the size, small, huge, tall, wide. Next, the age or temperature. For example, young, middle-aged, antique, freezing. Next, the shape. For example, round, triangular. The color, black, greenish. Next is the origin, for example, British or handmade. Next, the materials, for example, glass or silk. And finally, the noun, for example, student, childhood, salt. Here we have an example. My first few beautiful antique Czech crystal sugar bowls. As far as we can see, here we are using, first of all, a determiner, my. Later on, the ordinal, first. Next, a quantifier, few. Next, we have the adjectives, beautiful, that's opinion. Antique, that's age. Czech crystal, that's the origin. Next, sugar, that's the material. And bowl, that's the noun. All right, so let's go to the next. Here we have again the order of the modifiers: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, and material. Let's figure it out. Arrange the modifiers in the correct order to complete the sentences. Number one, French, the silk, red and white large. We are going to arrange it into a sentence. We say, this is the large red and white French silk scarf I got. Pretty good. Okay, let's write here the answer. It's the large red and white French silk scarf I got. Okay, let's go to number two. Here we have porcelain hand-painted flower, beautiful Chinese old too. Let's pay attention here to hand-painted. We are using a hyphen. Why are we using a hyphen between the two words? Because they are not adjectives, they are nouns. But when we use a noun as the description of the characteristic of another noun, we are going to use a hyphen to separate them and to mark that they are characteristics. Okay, porcelain hand-painted flower, beautiful Chinese old too. Here we have I bought. Here we go. 2 beautiful flower hand-made, no, hand-painted, hand-painted porcelain. Okay, here we go. I bought 2 beautiful flower hand-painted porcelain vases. Okay, that's the way we are going to use it. Okay, now let's go to the next image. All right, so please be careful. When the modifier is a noun, never use a plural form. Hyphenate compound modifiers when they precede the noun. Figure it out. Check the correct phrase. Number 1. What is correct? A delicious vegetable soup, or B, a delicious vegetable soup? That's right. It's letter B, a delicious vegetable soup. Remember that we said that when the modifier is a noun, we never use a plural form. Okay, now let's go to the next. Here we have number 2. What is correct? A 2-year-old house, or B, a 2 years old house? Okay, here remember that we said that when we are going to use an adjective, a noun, to explain the characteristic of another noun, we are going to hyphenate it. A 2-year-old or a 2 years old house. All right, as we said before, here the correct one should be A, because the modifier is a noun and we are not going to use it in the plural form. Okay, pretty good. Let's go to the next image. Great. For further information, we have some pages that can be very useful for you. Here we have something for the British Council and another from Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, thank you for watching this video. We hope it has been useful for you. If you have some more doubts, contact your tutor or your monitor. Don't forget to work with the exercises and activities in the platform. Meet you at your conversation class.